Weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, we had a little bit of snow come down, actually dropping that visibility for us here late this afternoon, and that will continue into this evening. A live look with our Mercy Out Sky Track camera now over downtown Rockford. You see the flag whipping around as the wind continues to gust in from the southeast, and we've actually got a little bit of a break from some of the steadier and heavier snow we had just a couple hours ago. In fact, that initial band of snow working in and actually picking up a little more in intensity near the I-39 corridor. That has pushed off to the east. We've actually got some drier air coming in from the southwest, which is why we've had a little bit of a break in some of that activity and why we've seen a little bit more less intense snowfall coming down. But it's also possible with that there is some drizzle or even freezing drizzle as you start to see some of the green pop up here from Sterling and then right around the Dixon area. That's because temperatures are very close to freezing, and we're actually bringing in a little bit more of that warm air ahead of this area of low pressure. You kind of see that counterclockwise spin as that low pressure system moves further into eastern Iowa. Now we do have another band of a little bit more steady and some moderate snow coming down, and that's working east here of the Mississippi River. So as we get through this evening, we should see mostly snow as our atmosphere begins to cool. However, by about 9 or 10 o'clock this evening, you might actually see that change back over to some drizzle or even some freezing drizzle. Current temperatures now sitting at 31 in Freeport, 34 in Rockford, 32 our temperature in Rochelle. But with that southeasterly wind, notice that wind chill down in the teens. And I mentioned that wind sustained from the southwest at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. We've had some gusts here southeast of Rockford that have topped close to 30. So what that has done, even before some of the snow started, a lot of the snow that was on the ground in the open areas, that blowing around quite a bit. So you have the combination of that snow coming down, the wind, and some of that snow already blowing around on the ground, and visibility has been reduced under a mile in Rockford, mile and a half in Freeport, Rochelle, and then down to a mile in DeKalb. Now, I mentioned that drier air. This is kind of a snapshot of what's going on in the middle part of the atmosphere, and you can actually see that dry slot working in into northwest and north central Illinois, kind of by those darker colors. So that's why we've had a little bit of a break in some of the more intense snowfall. But on the back side of that is starting to wrap back in, and that's why we'll kind of see that secondary push of that snow begin to move in between about now and 8, 9 o'clock. Now, I mentioned the changeover, or where we could see a little more drizzle begin to work in, especially south of Rockford along Interstate 88, once we get to about 9 or even 10 o'clock here this evening. Now, by midnight, most of this is going to be out of here, and we'll keep with that cloud cover as we head through the overnight. So the impacts to tomorrow morning probably won't be too significant, as most of the snow will be wrapping up and will be done. Might just have some residual effects from the blowing snow in some of the open areas. As we go throughout the day, we'll get a couple of peaks of sunshine for a Monday, but that cloud cover does come back in by Monday evening, Monday night, and that'll stay with us early Tuesday. Now, we get a little bit of sunshine. However, I'm a bit not very optimistic is what I wanted to say on how much sun we're able to actually get when we get into Tuesday. And that's because we've got warmer air coming in, but we've also got a pretty thick snowpack. So if we keep with the cloud cover, that could limit our warming just a bit. As far as snow totals are concerned, some of those numbers coming down, especially with that feed of drier air and a little bit of sleet or some drizzle and even freezing drizzle mixing in at times, which would cut down on some of those snowfall totals, generally about 2 inches for most of us here. But the impacts will still be felt through roughly about midnight, with that blowing, some drifting snow too, but really with the reduced visibility and those slick roadways. So you got to take it easy if you're going to be out later this evening. Conditions should gradually improve as we head through morning. So 24 degrees tonight with some of the wind-whipped snow showers. It'll stay windy overnight. In fact, those gusts through tomorrow could come as high as 30 miles per hour. That wind shifting around to the west and southwest. 35 for tomorrow afternoon. Now, I mentioned that warm up as we get a pattern change in our jet stream. So winds coming in more from the southwest, this coming in by Monday night and Tuesday. However, that cloud cover could limit that. If we don't see many clouds on Tuesday, temperatures could easily climb into the 40s. However, I kept those numbers in the 30s, right around 37. There's a chance that we might see a couple of flurries kind of skirt to the north of us Tuesday into Wednesday. Temperatures then will stay in the lower 30s here as we head towards the end of the week and getting into the next. weekend.